Okay, we are recording. Cheers, Patrick. Yeah, we're on.
Sick.
We're on, Big Daddy.
Sick nard, big Dougie. All right, so Tommy's dead. He died
Tommy died over
3 years ago. All the podcasts you saw of him were actually a hologram that they did, like
pre-recorded.
in Coachella with Tupac. That we did that with Tommy. It's just we were on it.
Tommy's in a better place.
Tommy's no longer with us. Don't look into it. Don't look for the news story. Don't tell him that we did this podcast without him.
Yeah. Can we block him from YouTube?
Yeah, let's just block him for this one episode. We'll just block only Tommy. Tommy's blocked for this episode. No one said Cliff. Don't say shit. You're the only one watching. Don't tell Tommy shit.
Fuck up, Cliff.
Shut your fucking mouth, Cliff.
Shut the fuck up.
Feet people, feet fetish people. How you doing? Shout out. It's been a while.
Yeah, I got a DM.
Yeah,
Showed you the DM.
yeah,
Didn't reply yet. I'm gonna see how my financial situation plays out.
yeah. How much was he willing to pay?
He didn't say, so I can set the price and we can negotiate. So honestly, what I need is $2,000.
Okay,
Like, I need that. If that was sent to me, I'd be like, okay, sure.
And he wants pictures of just your foot in your sock or just barefoot?
He said, and I know it's a he just based on the name.
It's got to be he. I don't think there's any women out there that really
There's-
want.
I mean, you're a gross woman if you
You're a
want that.
gnarly bitch.
Hey, man, adding to the list of creeps asking for sock pics for the British pound sign.
Oh, so he's in England.
English lad.
He's an Englishman. He's a matey.
And then he said, oi, bruv, would you be down for? Figured as you're so chill on the podcast, yeah?
It's Dan from fucking Green Street.
Yeah.
Dude, wait,
It's a
wait.
regular customer.
Wait. He wrote, "Hey, bruv." What did he say?
No, he did not. He wrote that. He just said, hey, man, adding to list of creeps, asking for sock pics for money, LOL. Would you be down for? Figured you're so chill on the podcast.
Tell him, yeah. I say $2,000.
Yeah.
See
So I
what he
got to do
says.
the conversion rate. Like, is the pound
I think
more?
the pound's more. The pound. I remember when I was. Well, this is years ago. But when I was traveling in Europe, the pounds was the strongest currency, and then it went euros, and then it went U.S. dollars. The pound was bananas.
So would I get a shit more U.S. money?
Well, you'd have to check. I don't know what the current rate is. Maybe it's different. Maybe the U.S. dollar's back on top or whatever. But
I'm just going to give my new landlord 2,000 British pounds.
just got the Queen of
Like,
England
here.
over their money. Their money looks like Monopoly money.
It really does.
So does euros, but it looks kind of cool. Let's fucking gay. Let's gay it up, dog. Let's gay up our money, dog.
Gave the Monopoly money. Just like, no, it's British pounds. Don't worry.
These are British pounds.
The Monopoly man looks British for
Yeah,
sure.
he's got the-
100%.
the monocle.
He buys. That's what the guy looks like. He looks
If
like the
you're
Monopoly
wearing
man.
a monocle, you 100% are British. You cannot wear a monocle and not be English. Even if you're not, when you put it on, you're English and you start talking in an English
and they
accent.
they walk the. It's not like the racing dogs, like the really skinny ones. It looks kind of like that. It might be
the
Like
greyhounds?
the greyhound. They walk a dog like that. Any guy with a monocle, British dude, that whatever, and they hold the leash up here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they don't hold it down.
Yeah, they hold it up.
Like
That's
that's
weird.
how you know they're fucking.
That's how you know they're really like too British. It's
Yeah.
like too much British.
the
Yeah, they walk that. They have a top hat. Monocle.
dog doesn't shit. Also,
It just never shits.
just never.
It's just so proper.
So rude.
It just looks
to
down
shit.
on people. It's just looks like that. Has a handkerchief.
Percy, don't shit.
Its name is Percy.
Percy, hold it in.
Every British monocle guy's dog's name is Percy. Percy 1, Percy 2, Percy 3, and all the way to infinity. That's how they differentiate. Tell him $2,000. 2,000. Tell him British pounds.
What if it's just flipped? I asked for 2,000 British pounds, and he's like $4. That's amazing.
Damn. Well, I mean, you're $4 richer. That's $4 going towards your rent. You know what I
True.
mean? Hold on. Let's see. What's stronger? Pounds? I'll fucking pound your ass, brother. What's stronger, pounds or U.S. dollars?
Is the term stronger to use? Is stronger the right term? Like,
No, more valuable probably,
Yeah.
but I mean, Google will know what I mean. Although the British pound is worth more than the U.S. dollar on a nominal basis, the dollar is still a stronger currency due to its status as the world. Okay. What? What?
So to the world, American dollars is always favorable, but in terms of exchange rate, Britain's better than America.
Yeah, I guess it's more.
But no one else in the world wants British pounds. Like, give me that U.S. dollar.
How much is one British pound in
1
US
pence, sir.
in U.S. dollars?
Sir, you're sitting on your ball sack.
You're sitting on your nutsack, my man. It's 120. So $1.29. So £1 is $1.29.
Mm.
So 2,000 pounds.
Sir, your royal butt wiper is here, sir.
Ah.
They're here for their money, sir. You're behind on payment.
2,000 times 1.29 is, whoa. So it's an extra $2,000 times 1.29 is it's an extra $580.
Damn, that's pretty worth it. That's a
That's
tip.
worth it.
I mean, that would be a tip.
That's a tip.
That's my flat rate is $2,000 for anyone. Actually, I would be really open to that. If anyone else wants feed pics from me, like I'll like $2,000 and I'll send it.
Yeah.
I'll give you like 5 pics. One of them I can do like a weird thing, like step in peanut butter. I'll do that, but like no face in it. No, like just you're gonna trust that it's mine.
Just toes. I would draw a smiley face on the bottom of my toes and then be like $2,000.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wiggle. They probably want a wiggle pic.
Yeah,
that
they
guy's
definitely-
gonna jerk off.
Yeah.
Hard to that.
Yeah,
picture.
I know. That's weird.
That guy's gonna be like, oh, but he wants the sock on it.
Cranking my knob. Well,
Imagine
he
getting-
just said feet pics. He didn't say socks or whatever.
Imagine getting a picture of someone's feet and then being like, yes, and then immediately jerking off. That's the weirdest shit I've ever
Actually,
heard.
what's
in my life.
fucking crazy is we're not a big podcast. We have 188 subscribers.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy watched a video and was like, I'm going to offer him money to see his feet. There's so many other ways to see feet out there.
Yeah, you can just Google feet.
Go to a pool party.
He wants to see your feet though.
I know.
He
Yeah.
likes you and your feet.
Yeah. My feet are probably on my Instagram.
That guy
already.
would put your feet together and have sex with your feet. Like he would like fuck the hole in between your feet. That's probably a really like a thing that he really wants to do. Like he's really like,
Yeah.
I want to fuck that fool's feet.
That's
How do you know?
so
How do you
weird.
feel like knowing that there's a guy out there that wants to do that to your toes?
I
Does it feel good?
don't know.
How do you feel? It's an acceptance speech. Hey man, give your acceptance speech. Go.
I'd love to thank the Academy and the playlist that sponsors our podcast on guys in dirty white socks for reaching such a broad audience, especially overseas.
Yeah.
For all the men before me that have been offered money from this gentleman, I follow in your wiggly toes footsteps. I'm honored.
Wiggly toes.
Wiggly toes.
Wiggly toes has got to be like like if there, you know how there's grinder or whatever. If there's like a feet grinder, like
Yeah.
Wiggly toes is like
And that
Us.
definitely sounds like the British version.
a username.
Yeah, wiggly toes.
Mr. Wiggly Toes. Mr. Wiggly Toes 219. That's my username.
So wiggly toes.
Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Wiggles. Damn. Send him. I would say 2 G's. Put that in there.
$2,000. I mean, then it's up to him. We can negotiate down from that, but I mean,
No, don't say that live.
we
It's a
can't negotiate down from that. It's $2,000.
It's a firm price. Oh, and not 2,000 U.S. pounds. 2,000 British pounds.
And we did our own math. So the number I'm really seeing that I'm going to get is $2,580.
U.S. dollars.
US dollars. So that would
Make it
the 580 really sweetens it.
Yeah, make it
A lot.
2,580 British pounds.
Dude, now we're at like $3,000.
Now
US
we're at
dollars.
3 G's.
That's
three-
like I would be dumb not to do that.
Yeah.
If that guy came to me with the number first, like I'll give you $3,000 for your feet pics, I'd be like, okay, like
In
let's
a second.
let's FaceTime now. Here's my phone number.
In a second.
yeah.
Even 2 G's. 2 G's is a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, that
to
would
send
be.
a picture of your feet? Like,
I
for
actually
$2,000?
need that money so bad. Like I'm so stressed about this move and everything.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like I will do it.
yeah.
I'm gonna reply to him now. I'll be like
Yeah.
$2,000.
I dare reply to him right now, see what he says.
I'm gonna say it right now.
Hey, brother. Hope all, type in hope all is well. Assalamu alaikum. 2 G's.
I would do it for
Dude, if you get 2 G's from this,
$2,000.
that'd be great.
It's gonna say scene immediately.
Send you back up a video of his fucking dick coming right away.
So, anyways,
Anyway, so Tommy's dead. Will selling feet peaks online.
peaks for the lads.
And it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done a podcast.
Yeah.
And but here we are with no Tommy. Tommy's out traveling the world with his lady friend, with his girlfriend. He went and saw the Grateful Dead, took acid on. I can't wait for him to tell that story when he gets back.
Oh yeah,
Who knows? He bought 4 Patron shots and 2 Impossible burgers.
with cheese.
That's
Yeah,
somehow,
Tommy's Squarespace account is somehow linked to my email, so I just get every notification of his purchases for Squarespace.
we know what he's buying. So he bought 4 Patron shots, 2 Impossible Burgers with cheese, $91.
Bought so many dildos.
Yeah, a gang of dildos, bunch of lube, red ball gag. He bought those. So that's
Like,
what
bought
Tommy's
the
up
amount
to.
of dildos where you're like, okay, is he opening a dildo shop?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that many dildos.
Are you starting a business?
Yeah, it's like, okay, he's clearly found the market.
Did
for
you buy it
something.
wholesale, actually?
Yeah, it was a Costco in bulk. They sent it on a pallet.
Got it on Alibaba, actually.
What's that?
You never heard of Alibaba? Alibaba's like some like a wholesale website where people like buy shit in bulk. You never heard of Alibaba, dude?
No, I don't think so.
Alibaba is a good word, huh?
Alibaba.
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 Alibaba. Alibaba. Alibaba. So you want to talk about comedy, dude, or what? How do
Yeah,
you feel
let's-
about comedy? Talk to me about comedy. Talk to me about your process. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what jokes you're writing. Tell me how you're feeling on the inside.
I actually don't know a good writer. I watch a lot of comedy podcasts, like of the guys that I like.
Mm.
'Cause you gotta like figure out how to be more like the guys that you like. Like clearly there's some connection you have. And every time, like no one really talks about their process, or they it kind of always just gets skipped over in the interview, which I guess is like more of like a technical science thing that a general comedy audience isn't gonna really give a fuck about. Like I don't care how Tom Segura writes, but you know, I think that's like one of the difficult things getting into comedy. It's just like it's so much trial and error from one performing it, and then also just like okay, I like me in my head, like I can't sit down and be like dedicated to like okay, I'm gonna write on this. Even like the recording on the notes thing, like it's hard. Like it's even more difficult for me to like go back and play it back and be like I don't know how I'm gonna retain this really. So the writing is definitely something I'm struggling with, big time.
Did you try talking it out? Have you tried that?
Yeah, I always. So the weird thing too is, like, I'll be in my car or in the shower. Those are the two places that I talk out loud the most and like just really freely think. Because in the shower you don't have to do anything, and on the road I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Those old ladies just.
Yeah. That'd be a great bit. But the second I like hit record on something, then something shifts in my head where it's
Yeah.
like they're listening. Now it's a performance.
Wow.
So I'll know like when I'm in the shower, like, you know, you always are just acting it out. Like
yeah.
there's no other way. Like you just have to pretend you're on stage acting it out. And like I'm a fucking headliner in the shower.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a great comedian. And then I go to record it and I'm like, and I just sound stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I try it sometimes, and I literally have to like I kind of have to let it run for like 5 minutes and just literally kind of just tell myself like, well, just pretend like it's not recording, just
Yeah.
like just, and then finally I find like a little groove, or I'll just record in the car on a drive, and then eventually I can forget that it's recording, and then it sounds kind of normal, and I
Yeah.
kind of get good stuff out of that. But no, I've been doing a little better on stage the past few mics. Like I didn't have enough written stuff prepared to like segue into, so I kind of forced myself to riff with some people, which I actually found really fun. I've tried that before when I was really not good at it. Like I planned in my set list, like
Yeah.
here's a joke I'm gonna do, and here's like a good segue question into it. So I planned
Yeah,
a crowd
yeah.
work. I was
Yeah,
like, okay,
don't do that.
ask this. I did. One guy responded back with something, and I was just like nothing came to my mind, and I was just like, yeah, that sucks, man. And like immediately just went into the material. I was
yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah.
But it was kind of good now. Like even though I was bombing for a few sets, just having nothing really prepared, just to like be like, okay, well, you just have to say something, or otherwise you're just gonna be up here for 2 minutes and then waste, you know, the time driving out here to not even do the full 5. So that's been good. I'm just now realizing like the writing side is super important, and it's just difficult. Like there's like I wish there was like a way from like, oh, this guy I fucking love, and he's like, here's how I do it, but no one really
Who do you have in mind? Like who?
like Louis, obviously.
So Louis has said that, I mean, but so Louis has been doing it for what, 20 something, 30 something. He's been doing it forever, right?
He's been doing it for like since he's 18. He's like
Yes.
mid-50s.
Okay,
He's been
so
doing
he's
it for like 35 years.
Yeah, he's been doing it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've heard him say is that the reason he does it like this too is because he's such a master. Like he can do this, but he'll I've heard him talk about it. I don't know where. Maybe it was on Joe Rogan's podcast. But he basically like he'll get an idea and he doesn't he said he doesn't even try to like think about it. Like he doesn't like if he's by himself, like say he's gonna talk about like the zoo or something, you know, like hey, I'm gonna talk about the zoo. He like tries not to even start thinking about it. He just knows the zoo. He's like, there's something about the zoo. He doesn't even try to go, like wonder anything. He says he only wants to do that on stage. He's like, because that's where he's like, I start creating it in front of them and they help me create it. But that's a master level shit.
That's absolutely
That's like
insane.
that's master. Like
Yeah.
you've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that could end up being your style too, and you could play with it. You could. There's no harm in trying that. Bill Burr, similar, but I've heard him say that like I think it was on the Tom Green show. He talks about like if he thinks about gorillas or something, he'll think something funny and then he'll just write one word down like gorilla, or like fucking tomatoes, or you know mayonnaise, and then he goes on stage. And he goes, oh yeah, mayonnaise, and then it's very similar. He just starts unfolding in front of people and just goes for it.
I really like Fahim Anwar, and I've heard him on a podcast talking about he'll have his premise, and then in most of his jokes, his style, it's not similar to mine. Like I think I am more of like a kind of like you, like it's story based, and there's like punchlines within it, or like, oh, this is just a funny thing that counts as the punchline, like, you know. But his is sort of like one-liners, but also with act outs. But he'll say he has the premise, and he can write out like 3 or 4 punchlines to it, and he'll try them all on stage, and then after he forces himself to say 2 more sentences about it. He's like, if it's bombing, he's like, I will, like, if I tell the first punchline gets a laugh and I say the other 3 and it's overdone and they hate it, he's like, I force myself to say 2 more things on stage.
That's
and
smart.
he's like, I usually find like my best thing at the very last second that like gets, he's like, any life from that last one, like I've said 4 things that they kind of didn't care about, and then the last one was like just over the top, like way too dumb. And he's like, and then I start from that one next show. And I was like, that's cool.
You know who else does that is Mark Norman. Mark Norman also said, have you ever heard of a podcast called Hot Breath? You should watch Hot Breath.
Yeah, I have.
So that
Ali Sadiq did an episode that was dope.
Yeah, so that's the whole podcast is that guy interviews them and breaks down how do you do comedy and like how do you write, like all the things you want to know. Like he's I think interviewed Mark Norman twice. He does Ali Sadiq, right? Is how you say his last name? Ali Sadiq. He's interviewed everyone. Cedric the Entertainer, like sick. I've watched Ian Edwards, who's an amazing writer.
That guy's great.
That one actually is a really good episode because Ian Edwards is such a good writer, and he talks about his process about like how he like writes down jokes. Like he really gets into it. I probably have to watch that one again but I remember when I saw it, I was like, this is fucking amazing that he's saying this.
Dude, Ali Sadiq was cool. Like Ali was saying that he's like, once he felt that he got the, you know, ability for writing jokes, like he thought he had that down, he'd been performing a little bit. He's like, I would just force myself 1 year, like the whole year of me doing stand-up gigs, mics. My goal would be do all your sets, never touch the microphone, just get up there and stand, like just stand in front of it, don't touch anything, like just, you know, whatever, be funny that way. Then I would, you know, sit down in a chair the entire time, sit for an hour. He did a college, he said, and told a story about it where like the college was really rowdy, and he just walked out on stage, sat down in the chair. The show had started, everyone was just talking, and he sat for 15 minutes in silence until people like noticed, and then
they just stopped.
He just sat down, crossed his legs or whatever, and everyone was just talking, and he was just chilling, just like that for 15 minutes. And then everyone finally noticed, oh, there's the thing on the stage, like something's like, we're here for a reason. And then he had their attention and just started talking.
And then he got into it.
Yeah. Like
that guy's so good at sitting in silence. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like that his poise, like his timing, like how calm
Did you see his part 2 special?
No.
Dude, I told you about it at the gym, but the part when he's talking about his sister's death.
Yeah.
He's like collapsing on stage.
Crying.
Like
it's wild.
It's so like the emotion that like you feel watching it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not being funny. Like it's
just him crying.
It's dead serious. Like
wow.
He's feeling all that pain again.
Yeah.
And just letting it out and still continuing the story of what he has to get to. the whole audience is in tears.
Yeah.
It's silent. You just hear weeping. He's crying on stage for a good like 5 minutes throughout that segment, and then, collects himself, continues talking, and then the joke out of it. It's not a joke related to that, but there's just one thing. He's like, the one thing that got me through this. The crowd lost their mind,
Of
like
course,
laughing.
yeah.
So like the tension could not have been like, it was like miles and miles of a rubber band being like stretched.
That's what's
Like,
so cool.
Insane.
If you have a real moment like that, a real emotion, because it just builds. That's just that tension is just. It's like gasoline. Like you're just collecting gasoline, and the joke, the punchline is just when you throw the match on it. But the more tension, the more emotion you can bring into it, whether it's serious, sad, whatever. And if you but it has to be a good punchline. It can't be some fucking lame ass C-level bullshit.
Yeah,
it's gotta be a good one. It's gotta be a good one.
What he says, I'm gonna just have you watch it, but it's something that I know would make you laugh. Like, it's very funny.
Yeah,
it's just so ridiculous.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
damn, that's sick.
Sneak is cool.
You should watch Hot Breath though. Look up Hot Breath podcast.
Yeah,
I have a book too that like it's a bunch of just interviews with different writer or comedians, and they talk about like he interviewed like George Carlin, everybody, Seinfeld, all these motherfuckers, and they just talk about how they write their process, like what they do.
Yeah, I have my old roommate, like my close friend. He writes a lot of screenplays, and he was in a UCLA screenwriting class. He's been entering competitions now and placing like pretty high in them.
Nice.
So I just called him the other day. I was like, "Hey man, like, I've been performing a lot, but I'm really like slacking in the writing department. Like I just can't, my ideas are just, they're so, it's probably not even just a writing practice, but they're just so like, okay, that's all I thought about in my head.
Yeah, right.
And now it just sits on paper, and I'm like, so that's why it's a little helpful, doing it on stage, like riffing, like, or saying one, like I've had a couple moments of success, like saying an extra idea, and I was like, oh, that's funny, but it doesn't go beyond that. Like so I asked him, I was like, dude, what are like some exercises or like anything that I can, just to fill out more of the page on that? Like,
yeah,
I'm still in that beginner mindset where it's like, I don't know how to get a different angle or how is this even funnier? But I did that good advice from that writer's mic of how does this, like, what does this say about me?
Yeah.
So I already worked on another bit earlier this week, and I did write down, I was like, what does this say about me? And then that was my other angle for it, where I was like, oh, this, like, because all this stuff happened, like this makes me judgmental. Like now I judge people. Because I was judging us, like doing, when we were younger, when we were doing this thing, like I was like, we shouldn't be doing this. And I was like, I think this was what makes me like judgmental now. And like now when so I was like, okay, that's, not necessarily a different angle on the subject, but it's like, there's just more depth to it now.
Yeah.
So it just segues me into, now I can write about, oh, why do I judge people?
Yeah, dude. So that's, I mean, what you have to find a way, because comedy, with comedy, you always have to dig deeper into subjects, because unless you're doing one-liners or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's also fun to dig deeper into subjects, and you figure shit out, and then you find the more well-rounded your bit is, the more the audience is going to enjoy it. In my experience, like if you can get different perspectives, like if you can get like if you do the thing about the fucking grocery store with the shitty steaks or whatever, and you had already talked about homeless people or whatever, and you're talking about that, then you can jump into the homeless guy's perspective, and then he could judge you guys or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you could bounce around. You're always like, what is the grocery store clerk like? What do the other people think? What do I think? If you get a paper and if you, I mean, this might help too. Like, remember like old school brainstorms when you're writing an essay, you'd put like a bubble in the middle. I used to do it like that. I'd write like the fucking cereal in the circle and then put a bunch of lines and then start just writing things. You could do that, or you could do it like in a list format, but just write, like going to the grocery store with my mom and buying the dumbass clearance steaks, and then write just anything that you thought or felt or experienced, any detail you remembered. My sister had a dumb green shirt on. It was weird, and I thought it was weird because of this. It made me feel like this. Then my mom said that. How do I feel about grocery stores in general? Like anything, any feeling, any perspective, any thoughts. oh yeah, this made me judgmental. That's a good one because now you being judgmental is a whole area, an arena of like,
Yeah.
what else are you judgmental about? You know, like you could, and then you just start writing that. That's a separate list. That's like a different bit. You put that on the side. I'm judgmental about this, but I'm also judgmental about this and that and this and that and this and that. And then you go, why? Why am I judgmental about this? Why do I hate gay people like you do? You know what I mean? Like, why do you we all know you're a homophobe. Anyways, yeah. So you just write, you write, just write all your shit out, and then yeah, and that's how you develop material. And but you have to. For me, writing comes so I love writing. Like I love it. I love the routine of like getting like first thing in the morning, getting coffee and just sitting there with the note. Like I like it. It like makes me feel good. I like the time to myself. I like everything about it. So for me, it's not hard. What's hard for me is the editing. When I get back home, like that's where I slack. I talk on stage, and then I always like listen to sets, and like I write down like it spawns new ideas, and I write new ideas. But I have to be better about like I have a lot of bits that are like funny, but like I know could be way funnier. Like I know could be way sharper, way cleaner, way take it to the level where it's like I smash. Like I have certain bits where I'm really confident in, where I'm like, this is gonna smash. Or if I hit the right audience in the right way, like I can like smash. But I know that there's like I can go a little deeper, and where I'm slacking is editing. But you have to find what you're comfortable with. So the easiest one I can suggest is the pen and paper, because that's what's easiest for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely I retain it better.
Yeah.
Like if I just speak it out loud on my phone, like
Yeah.
if I don't write down, actually from I'm carrying this on me now, but Mike Falzone sent me like, if he like put up a story, he's like, anyone wants this, just like, DM me. So he just has this pad that says write everything down, and it's like set up as like write down your set and then feedback on it. But
sick.
I was just like, dude, I should actually just start carrying this, because like I throw it in my notes phone, but there's something even better of just like the pen, like you're working harder to write it down. It kind of just
I think
better.
it just sinks in better too.
Yeah.
Like there's something more personal. Like I don't know. I've always like typing. I can type, but I like writing it. Like it feels good.
So I had
go ahead.
I had a question. Just because you've been doing it a lot longer, and now you're saying that like the thing you're struggling with is like editing, but what were other things like in the beginning, or throughout like the whole span of when you've been doing stand up, that you're like, damn, I can't figure that, like why am I not like these other comics, and like what was the thing, and then what got you over the hump, or like oh fuck, because like now I'm curious like what you think would be to get you out of the edit hump, where you're just like, are you just not working at the editing? It's just kind of like, shit, or is there like a mental block where it's like, well, how do I figure out how to edit this now? Like, how do I like what do I do that's different to make
It's definitely more, it feels more like editing thing feels like procrastination. Like when you have homework due and you just like keep putting it off, that's what it feels like. It doesn't
riddled with procrastination.
It doesn't feel like I can't do it, because I've done it. Like it's just that, like I said, that when coming up with new ideas and writing, I'm like excited. And then when it's editing, I'm like, like work, like this is work. Like that feels more like a chore. But once I start getting into it, I feel good. Like I'm like, oh shit, why don't I always do this? Like I like this. I just kind of, it's just mentally me. I guess laziness is what it is.
Yeah.
But since the beginning, I mean, there's plenty of things. I like, first of all, just getting on stage, like the fear of, imposter syndrome. I still have imposter syndrome, but I had it like way more before. Like I was not confident.
That is very difficult, dude.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's much easier when I go to a mic with you, and then like every time we go to a mic and like there's just someone there just like, oh, Patrick, what's up, man? Like obviously no one knows me. I'm still, fresh into this. But even afterwards, when you talk to them, it's just like, oh, I'm good buddies with Patrick, so I can just slide right in and just like, oh, it's cool. And then I cut loose, like let some jokes out. But when I go to mics when you're not there, and then just everyone clumps up together, I feel like it's the first day of like middle school.
That's how I was.
I don't know anyone, and now I'm standing here and I'm weird.
That's how it was for years.
It's awful.
Because I didn't know. I mean, I knew some people you get to, the more you show up to a mic, that you just get to know people, And if they see you trying, like comics will be, you'll meet someone that you're cool with. Like it's just kind of, you're around all the time. It's like a coworker. Like you don't know them at first, and then you're just there every day, and then you shoot the shit, and you're like, this guy's actually kind of chill. It's like the same thing like that. But I would roll with my buddy Jose all the time, and he was further than me. And Jose was so cool about getting me on shows, and like any show he had, he would be like, hey, like give this guy 5 minutes, and they always would. And I would fucking bomb like hard, and I sucked. I was so bad. I was terrible. I'd bomb, get a laugh here, get a laugh there. But just little by little, I kept making these little, I guess just by doing it, you just get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I would make these mental leaps where I was like, I'd get mad. I'd be like, fuck this. Like, I'm just going to do this. And then usually when I hit that threshold of like really saying fuck this, and I would do something different and it would work, I'd be like, oh, sick. That's
how I
right
do.
there.
That's what I do with everything in my life. Like I just, you know, like my physical health, like every time I'm like not in the gym, like fuck dude, I'm getting fat as shit. Like
Yeah.
just eating bad. Like I just willed myself to like get way more fit sometime last year.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, dude, I'm eating like shit. I'm not going to the gym at all. And I just worked out at home every day, just cleaned up my diet. And I like my stomach was gone. Brought it all back. But like, you know, it's weird that like I just have that ability to like get rid of shit that I don't want to just because I get angry about it.
Yeah.
But that happened to me too. Like I had a lot of talks with RP. That was really helpful because I just wasn't getting up on stage at all. And part of it like just piled up into also like, well, fuck, like now I'm just so out of practice of getting on stage because I would do it regularly enough where it's like, yeah, like I know what I'm doing. But it was like months that I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Then like everything, like all the doubt came in.
Yeah.
I would think of an idea and I'm writing it down. I'm like, this is dumb. Why would I ever fucking say that on stage? Like I had no confidence to even tell a joke. And then that first mic that I did, just I never felt like that on stage ever.
The only way to get out of it is just by doing it. It's like the same thing with like you feel like when you don't go to the gym for a long time, you feel like shit. The only way to not feel like that is by starting to go to the gym and then accepting the fact that, okay, the first couple weeks are going to suck, or there's going to be a period of time, whether it's 3 days or 2 weeks or whatever, where this shit sucks because you haven't done it in a long time and you're rusty and your body's not ready, or you're not ready for stage. Like you're overly nervous when you shouldn't be, but it comes from the break. And then, but you just do it until that shit's gone. And same thing with the gym. You go first time you hit legs, you're sore as fuck. You do legs for 3 weeks, you're like a little sore, but you get over it in a day or two. It's not that bad. But the first week or two, you're gonna get your ass kicked. You just have to accept this is gonna suck at first, but I'll get through it.
And it's kind of easy to forget a bomb, like, it sucks.
I
in the
still
moment.
remember some of those moms, dude, from like years ago.
Yeah, no, like you'll know they're there, but like, but the pain of it, like, it never lasts. Like
that's good.
Like,
well, no, it's good for you, man.
I mean, at least for me, like,
Yeah.
I just maybe I'm just not in it enough. Like,
no, that's honestly healthier to be like that. I for me, they like I've had. Well, no, not they don't like sting me anymore, like some of the older ones. But I remember pieces, and I'll cringe. I'm like, ugh, that was so bad.
I've only bombed at open mics. I've done 3 shows and have done pretty well for someone's first 3 shows. It's like it's a pretty good. So I'm due for plenty of bombs when I book shows. Like I know that's coming, so that might hurt a lot more than just a fucking open mic. But I do have a good like. That's the only thing I think I can lean into pretty well of like the mentality. I would do it in school. I would just be like, what do you want from me? Like I'd be in trouble and be like, I'm sorry. Like I don't know. I don't know how to do that math. That's why I didn't do the homework. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, so I just kind of have that protection of like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So why are you going to get mad? And then that just makes me feel better. So I kind of do that with like the, bombing on stage. It's like, I thought it would work and it's over now.
That's honestly, that's a healthy way to be. It's like, it's because you, at the end of the day, you are just trying, like, we are all just trying jokes. Like we're all like just trying to see if this works. We don't know until we say it. If it doesn't work, we shouldn't, even though it does sting, like you shouldn't attach it so much to your soul where it like devastates you. You're just like, all right, that was a thing I tried. It didn't work. Let me try this thing, or let's try that. That's the appropriate way to be. It's just easier said than done, especially in the beginning. Like now I'm better at that because it's like with experience, I'm like, all right, that didn't work like I wanted it to. Well, then let's just move on, More of a poker face, thicker skin.
What does Drew want?
Dude, we got to wrap it up soon, though, huh? Because we got to go to work. It's 4:36 right now.
4:36.
We'll do a short, this will just be a short podcast.
Yeah, guys. Patrick and I finished our shift from the morning. Now we're about to go to our other job together.
We're fucking working, brother. We're fucking working and twerking our cheeks off.
Yeah, I like the comedy talk.
Comedy
stuff.
talk.
Talking calm.
Talking cock. Dude, you should do... Definitely watch Hot Breath.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book I read. There's a really good book that I need to reread by this guy. I think his name is Lenny Bassam or Bassam. I don't know how you say his last name, but he was like an Olympic rifle shooter. Like he was an Olympian gold medalist. They have rifle. Apparently that's in the Olympics. So just elite rifle targeting.
It does not look like a regular gun. It's like kind of this crazy bionicle weapon.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't even know that existed, but I read this guy's book because I saw this guy George St. Pierre's, one of his trainers recommended it, and I was like, oh, that. And he's a smart dude, so I was like, all right, I want to check that book out. Read it, phenomenal book, and it's all about how he, right, how do you produce the same results every single time, and this guy had like so many stages of like how to like practically speaking the physical training, the mental training, retraining your subconscious to believe that you can do this. And then one of the things, there's a lot to it. It's a sick book, but anyways, he talks about he would keep a performance journal, and I slacked on this. I should get back into this. But he had one journal called a performance journal, which anytime he trained or had a competition, he would write the date. He would write, this is what I did. I shot at 100 yards. This is what I hit. This is what I didn't hit. And then he would write like what he did, how he could do better, what he thought about it afterwards, how he was feeling. He would fucking record every single.
Well, that's kind of what I do. I have a set journal.
Yeah.
Not this thing, but I write down the date and where it was, and I write down like 5 little quick words of like these are the jokes that I know, and then I write the feedback after. I'm like okay, like I've written down like bombed, I sucked ass, that was terrible, and then other times I'm like, hey, you know what? I didn't feel good about this, but I forced myself to say this extra sentence, and it worked, and I felt really great. Right. Or, dude, I did a great job tonight. That joke was good. This one, whatever. Yeah. Maybe I was like rough start, but I always write something about it.
Keep doing that. Because I was like, I remember when I was in the practice of doing that, that helped a lot.
Most of the times when it's a bomb, I just wrote, I fucking sucked.
So even if you bombed, even if you fail, try to find something that like you did that you learned, or something that you could, or at least something you could do next time. Yeah. Like something on the positive side. Like don't just be like, I fucking suck and that's it. Like I did suck. I failed. I fucked up because I tried this and it was too forced, or I did this and my time, didn't slow down. I didn't pause enough. And then, so next time I could pause a little more. I could take my time. I could prepare mentally before to slow down, or whatever it is that you tell yourself. But that'll help a lot too.
You know what hurts more than, at least for me, than just bombing? Is listening back to the recording.
Oh, it's the worst.
I'm like,
it's disgusting.
What am I doing?
It's disgusing.
What am I doing?
I remember one time when I was working with Willie, and I think we were in Arizona, and we did 2 nights, 3 nights of shows. We did it multiple nights, and the first night I went up there and I fucking bombed, dude. Like I bombed for like 10, whatever amount of time it was, 10 minutes. Ate shit, hard ass, terrible dick ass bullshit. Like just
fatal fuck ass motherfucking bullshit.
Fatal fuck ass bullshit bomb, right? Like everyone looks at you like you're a fucking piece of shit, disgusting. Like what? People don't even want to make eye contact.
Who let him up there?
When you bomb, people don't even want to look at you in the eyes. They like walk by you and they're just like, fuck, like
that sucks.
Like you're a disease. Like you're like a AIDS dude. So what I would do with him, or like what we would do together, is like he would want to listen to the sets. He's like, we got to listen to the set and break it down, because he wanted to teach me how to break it down. And we would sit there and like I would, not only is it bad listening to it by yourself, but then you listen to it with somebody else who is also a legit comic, like a headliner.
Jesus.
And then every second, like it was torturous. Like he would like play it for 5 seconds, pause it, like play it for 2 seconds, pause it, and be like, why the fuck did you say that? And he'd be like, why the fuck did you say that? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, I'd be like, it was so bad I started laughing. I was like, dude, this is the worst. And I told him, I was like, this is the worst feeling thing I've ever felt in my life. A 10-minute set took like an hour to get through, dude. And that was like, you think it's bad listening to yourself on your own, like doing that
sucks,
was fucking brutal, but it was really helpful. Like that was, and it was helpful also because he had all the experience and he was imparting knowledge, which was sick. But that, I'm just letting you know, that's, if you like listen to your set with RP, dude, when you bomb.
No, dude, like she's asked before a few times, like I've recorded every time I've been on stage.
Yeah,
if it's like a video or just the audio, like I've recorded every time I've performed. She has known I've gone to Mike sometimes. She's like, "How did it go?" I was like, "Fucking awful."
Yeah.
She's like, "Did you record it?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's
Yeah.
like, "Well, can I hear it?" I'm like, "Fucking no."
Absolutely not.
I was like, I don't think any the people in that room shouldn't have heard it.
No
The people that were there shouldn't have heard this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, you are not going to hear this. Like, I'm not going to delete it because like
You need it.
I need it. But like, holy shit, this won't go any. Like,
Never.
yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Ever.
Like, obviously that guy's not like your favorite comic, but like, just imagine it was like your hero, like your absolute comedy hero.
yeah.
Like, what if just Patrice O'Neal wasn't dead and
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
listened to those sets with you,
no.
just roasting the fuck out of you?
Dude, that's bad. But helpful and necessary. It's just part of it. You just got to do it.
That is terrible.
We got to wrap this up, dude, because I got to shower and shit, and it's 4:42.
Yeah. We're working on a potion to bring Tommy back from the dead.
We'll bring him back. We'll figure it out. We're gonna do a seance.
I think he's exploring the underworld, the netherworld, the purgatory. He's going all over. He's gonna report back to us his findings.
Yeah.
He's really on a journey right now. So
Spiritual, physical, mental,
yeah.
anal.
Thanks for listening. Buy our feet picks, $2,000
$2,000
minimum.
British pounds.
Tips are heavily appreciated
British pounds.
and necessary too.
Anyways,
Do we remember what those sounds are?
I don't. I'm trying to find them.
Here, you can. Yeah. It's gonna record live, so whatever you hit.
That's the
Tommy
theme
beat.
song. How'd you know? You could hear it?
I do it, but I don't come.
What is that one?
I do it, but I don't
I
come.
do it, but I don't come.
Wait, we gotta find a good one. Oh, it's X-Files.
They're really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden.
It's simply to boost my power.
Damn.
Yeah.
We gotta get some more of these bad boys.
I don't know what to say.
What was that one?
I don't know what to say. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Anyways, on that note, thank you guys for listening, and always remember that
I do it, but I don't come.
I do it and I don't come.
All right, later, guys.
They're really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden.